Welcome to Tech Blueprint, a window that lets you know the latest technology news in the world. As we all know, the US and European markets have been very repulsive to China's 5G equipment from the beginning to the end. In addition to verbal smearing, they have also made practical actions to lobby other countries to ban and dismantle relevant Chinese communication equipment. Despite this, many countries still find it difficult to leave their dependence on Chinese 5G equipment. For example, Finland is one of them. According to data released by Strand Consult, a European telecommunications industry consulting company, in 2022, 41% of Finland's telecommunications network equipment was provided by Huawei. The outside world also believes that this data fully illustrates Finland's excessive dependence on Chinese manufacturers in network equipment. Coincidentally, at this stage, the EU has been eyeing China's communication equipment and has also launched a series of plans to ensure the security of local 5G networks, trying to reduce the dependence of member states on Chinese suppliers in communication equipment. Therefore, Finland's failure to implement the EU's goals and giving Huawei so much market share was directly warned by the EU. And then it began to urge Finland to comply with the EU's position on technological security, as much as possible. There is no clear answer to what Finland did next. However, we can see some clues from some recent EU measures. On October 27, local time, the US Politico News Network released a list of new members of the European Commission, among which there appeared a special person, that is, Hanna, the former Minister of Education of Finland. It is understood that she was nominated as the Executive Vice President of the relevant agency responsible for technological sovereignty. Because of this position, she also had to express her position in public. That is, she firmly hopes that the EU will reduce its dependence on Chinese technology. It also tells us that Finland has not fully implemented the relevant policies of the European Union, and they are still very welcome to China's 5G equipment. In fact, not only in 5G equipment, but also in other aspects, Finland has always maintained close trade ties with us. Merix once published a data that from 2000 to 2023, Finland attracted about 14.1 billion euros of direct investment from China, second only to the United Kingdom, Germany, France and the Netherlands, and ranked among the top 5 places for Chinese direct investment. In addition, the Finnish Ministry of Foreign Affairs also published such a data that the total value of their Finnish company's business in China is estimated to exceed 20 billion euros per year. Obviously, whether it is our companies in Finland or Finnish companies in China, we are one of each other's important trading partners. Under such circumstances, it is difficult for Finland to restrict China's 5G equipment. Perhaps it is because they clearly recognize that Finland is unlikely to join the restriction camp at present, and even if their former Minister of Education joins, there is not much hope. The American media can't stand it anymore. They began to provoke the relationship between the two sides and told Finland not to stand on the wrong side. According to the news released by the US Politico News Network, Nokia, one of Finland's important technology brand giants, is showing a decline in the Chinese market. The report said that in the Chinese market, the world's largest 5G market, Nokia's market share has dropped from 6.2% in 2019 to 0.9% in 2023. In addition to the continuous decline in market share, Nokia's other businesses in China have also begun to decline. For example, Nokia has cut nearly 2,000 jobs in China. This situation shows that while Huawei can live well in the Finnish market, their companies have not enjoyed the same benefits in the Chinese market. Therefore, the US media began to stir up trouble and used such a sentence: they hope to take a gentle stance so that the Chinese market can give Nokia some crumbs. But they never thought that there were no crumbs. The words told Finland that their stance was not right, and the result of their so-called non-restriction of Chinese 5G equipment was only that it was getting harder and harder in the Chinese market. It is hard to say whether the relevant Finnish personnel will listen to this. If they are more sober, they should be very clear that Nokia has a fair chance to compete in the Chinese market, and they should also be very clear about not getting so much market share. You know, Finland's own market is willing to use more Huawei equipment instead of Nokia, which is already a good explanation. However, this side also released a signal. That is, when China and Europe continue to stalemate on electric vehicle tariffs, sooner or later they will be involved in the 5G field again. After all, in the current European view, giving Chinese companies the opportunity to develop and compete is equivalent to attacking the leadership of their local companies. Therefore, we will face more challenges next, such as Huawei, ZTE and other companies will be involved in the storm of potential security risks again. However, I do not think this is a pessimistic situation, because it is essentially difficult for them to leave the high-quality communication foundation established by Chinese equipment. At the same time, trade between the two sides is an issue that must be considered. Without us, they will have a large number of employment and tax gaps, which is completely contrary to the principle of interests. Therefore, under the premise of considering interests, they will not allow themselves to be led by the nose by the remarks of foreign media.